Hello there guys, this is Ryan from 8-Bit Gaming.
And this is other Ryan here, also from 8-Bit Gaming.
Today we are going to be discussing possible game features within Five Nights at Freddy's 3 based on images on the Steam websites for the Five Nights at Freddy's greenlit page.
We've also come up with a nice idea for you guys to get engaged with us on the channel. What we were thinking of is because a lot of this game currently is becoming speculated, and the theorists and even casual guys really enjoying watching this sort of content. If you guys have any theories about the Five Nights at Freddy's 3, 2, 1, any of the characters, feel free to share them in the comment section or even privately message us. And you'll be with a chance to, of course, have a video made on it. We'll discuss it in depth, and we'll publish your idea and make sure to get your name in it. So if you guys do have a theory which you feel is plausible or even interesting, do not hesitate to share it with us. We'll love to read it. So basically, if you guys do not know, Five Nights at Freddy's 3 was actually pronounced a greenlit game, which is fantastic for Scott. So congratulations, Scott, for that. Well done. That's a very good feat. And in turn, he released some pretty stifling images. So we're going to start with the first one, which shows, I suppose you could call it system failure almost. It basically shows three elements. We have audio devices, camera system, and ventilation, each of which have an error beside them. So this is interesting. So what's the first thing we want to raise about this?
Well, the first thing we want to raise is the actual location we are in.
Yeah.
Supposedly, according to the description of the game, it's 30 years on, and the creators or owners have now turned it into a horror house, which is obviously going to feature many jump scares to the public. Because if you've ever been to like a
any kind of haunted house attraction,
yeah, any haunted house, you'll always see jump scares coming out. Judging from obviously this horror attraction and the animatronics and what we're seeing on screen with the audio devices and stuff, we can possibly say that we are using these to defend ourselves or distract the animatronics.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I think the main concern for a lot of people when they first read the blurb for the brand new game is the fact that there's only one animatronic. Now, how can this be such a problem if there's just the one animatronic? You know, the gameplay might be a little bit predictable. Unlike, for example, Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2, there's a multitude of animatronics we have to worry about. However, if there is different elements to this haunted house, different things that are going to make you jump, do we also have to worry about those? Maybe they won't kill you, but will they startle you?
Yeah, I can imagine it being very distracting you from what you need to be focused on almost.
Oh yes, that's going to be fun. Alright, and the second point we need to think about is taking into account similarities in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2. We know there has always been a power system within the game. In what we've been shown so far, there doesn't seem to be any particular power feature, which leads me to believe that Scott has actually removed the HUD, which stands for heads-up display, and is just showing us the in-game footage of the attack. Now, what will this HUD feature? What do you think the HUD will actually feature?
Looking at the image, I think you'd have to press one, and then maybe there's certain rooms within the attraction where maybe you have to set off the sounds if he's getting too close. Wow. Like audio device, you click in it, and then there's a room saying maybe funhouse music, or maybe there's a suit with like a menacing laugh or something like that you can activate. I'm with you. Which then can kind of lead the animatronic stray, which will then give you time to reboot your system if anything's erroring. I see.
Yeah, I'm with you. An interesting point I want to actually quickly raise, as I've just noticed, if we look at the Bonnie picture where we can see the Bonnie's head in the distance, and we also look at the Foxy one where we can see the light sources coming from them. Point number one. Is this going to be our light source? Can we press a button and will this be where the light source is coming from? Point number two, if we look in the bottom left-hand corner of each, we can see there's two dots in the one where we can see Bonnie's head. Three, pardon me, and then in the Foxy one, there's two. So what does this mean? Clearly this is changing from time to time. This is going to tell us something. What does it tell us?
Oh, I just noticed the HUD is the top right-hand corner as well of the little play icon. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that looks very interesting, yeah.
Maybe that's for a sound or something in that area.
Yeah, I think it might possibly be, yeah.
Maybe it's like the wind-up music box where you have to hold it up for a certain amount of time to set it off, if you know what I mean.
Well, if we look at that HUD, there looks to be possibly three buttons. There's two buttons which almost say swipe right. There's a middle one that says click. What does this click mean? What is this click? Can you see the click? It's very small.
Yeah, maybe that's what I was talking about with the audio devices or the
yeah.
Where you have to play the maybe that foxy
I'm with you now. Yes,
whenever you go past it. I don't know. Maybe it's mad. Actually, it's so many theories.
That's very interesting.
Moving on to the ventilation system, we'll come back to the camera system next.
Yep.
We could see that if we do look at the ventilation system where Golden Bonnie is in shot with Freddy behind him, we can see that these ventilation...
You mean Foxy behind him?
Is it No, the one in the office, sorry.
Oh, in the office, yeah, of course, yeah.
Behind him. You can see a ventilation shaft just by Bonnie, salvage, according to the community's ear. But they look too small for an animatronic to fit in, so could this potentially be used for a defense mechanism?
Yeah, I'm with you, like some kind of... I think you addressed the topic of steam, because we know this animatronic to be mechanic. If some kind of water or liquid gets into its system, would this cause it to stop? Would it cause it to reset its system? Does it run on a system, perhaps? How is this thing working?
maybe it's like Foxy, where you flash the light at it.
Yes, exactly.
You kind of fault it out with water, and it goes back doing what it was doing almost.
Kind of tampers the system and sets it back to, I don't know, maybe its resting place or whatever it feels it should be doing.
Yeah, but that's as much as I can speculate with that. Really, there's not much else to go on with it. In honesty,
yeah, it's very shallow. This one
likes teasing.
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah.
We'll move on to the camera system now.
Yes.
I believe that the camera system is going to remain the same, like in the previous games, where you're just keeping tabs on where the animatronic is.
Yeah,
but as you can see, the errors next to it, it's not exactly mentioning any sign of power. So therefore, we could say that maybe the animatronic goes out its way to salvage the camera system so that you can't see it, and you have to rely on the other senses like the audio device and ventilation to know where the animatronic actually is.
Quite possibly, yeah. I think the camera system would definitely be probably the most important. We're saying that, we said that about Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and it turned out that you don't wind up that music box, you are dead. Doesn't matter how well you do with the cameras, you will die.
Pretty
much. So the camera system seems to be just another mechanic where it's going to cut ties. We're not going to see this animatronic. We're going to have a hard time finding it, whatever it may do. And probably enabling it is probably the most crucial thing we need to do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Moving on to the last and the final point. Sorry. Many people believe that it's just one animatronic, which it is. Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there won't be some kind of paranormal side to this, or a paranormal entity maybe taking over empty costumes. And distracting us from what we need. We know that Scott's very high on his paranormal. Paranormal side. From Five Nights at Freddy's 1, he hinted out that there was a paranormal explanation for what behind the animatronic, so we know he's in favour towards that kind of section, if you wish.
That would make sense, yeah, towards that kind of area. I think another important point to make is that the community has become well acquainted with the idea of hallucinations. Who's to say we're not going to be hallucinating seeing all of these other animatronics in the hallways? That doesn't mean they're there. We knew nothing of Golden Freddy. He was not regarded as an animatronic, but a hallucination. What have we got to see here? There's so much left in the shadows. And I think the last point we should raise is that if we look at the other shots, when we're looking at the camera and pretty much any of the shots really, the office that you are in has a nice kind of, well, I say nice in quotation marks, a green background. In the jump scare where we can see Bonnie is clearly in your face, that office is not green anymore. That's definitely a distinctive blood red. That's danger.
Definitely. So that must mean that there's some kind of alarm system in play for when he is in the room or when he's getting close to the room, maybe.
Could this be in link with the audio devices? Is something going to tell us when he's near?
Yeah, most likely.
Could he be very quick? I mean, I think there's so much to go on here, but I think for now, we're going to leave the rest up to you guys, and we're going to enjoy reading the comment section to see what you guys theorize as well.
Yeah, awesome. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more content, as we will be discussing other sections of the game in great detail.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for watching the video, guys, and see you on the next one.
Goodbye.
Thank you for watching our latest video.
If you enjoyed the content, be sure to show your appreciation by liking the video.
To stay up to date with all upcoming content, be sure to subscribe